Now, sometimes when we read poetry, we get general feelings about them. They may seem uplifting or humorous, or maybe sad or ominous. And there's another word for that idea, tone. To get more specific, let's see if you can define it.
In poetry, we define tone as A, the pitch of the poet's voice, B, the highest parts of the stressed syllables, C, the repetitive sounds of end rhymes, or D, the emotional coloring or attitude of the work.
Tone is the emotional coloring.
Poetry is the most distilled, intense language possible. Therefore, poetry to me is one of the most, and it sounds kind of corny, exalted states of being human, because we can give utterance to our feelings. Now, what makes poetry matter to us on a daily basis is that it allows us to give expression to and to connect with all of the innermost thoughts and feelings that we have. So you can read a poem and realize that that person may have had a very similar emotional experience as you. It may have different parameters. I mean, it may take place in Russia, but the feeling of lost love is the same the world over, or the feeling of being alone and feeling that you have to do something about a particular historical moment, stepping up that moment of fear. And the conquering of fear could happen with a knight in battle, but it could also happen with Rosa Parks sitting down in her seat. Rosa, referring, of course, to Rosa Parks and that moment when she refused to give her
father moved her family to Amsterdam, where he felt they'd be safer from Nazi persecution. After they arrived, they found that Amsterdam was no longer a safe city for them. They were forced into hiding. The Frank family moved into the attic of the building that housed their father's spice company. They allowed another family, the Van Pels, to move in with them. A few months later, a man named Fritz Pfeffer was invited to hide with them as well.
Today I have nothing but dismal and depressing news to report. Our many Jewish friends and acquaintances are being taken away in droves. The Gestapo is treating them very roughly and transporting them in cattle cars to Westerbork, the big camp in Drenthe, to which they're sending all the Jews.
When they first moved into the secret annex, Anne was only 13 years old. Unable to play outside with friends, she wrote in her diary as a way of expressing her thoughts and feelings.
At night in bed, I see myself alone in a dungeon without father and mother, or I'm roaming the streets, or the annex is on fire, or they come in the middle of the night to take us away, and I crawl under my bed in desperation. I see everything as if it were actually taking place, and to think it might all happen soon.
After nearly 2 years in hiding, the Nazis discovered the secret annex. The families living there were arrested and sent to concentration camps. Anne and her sister were separated from their parents. Both girls became ill with typhus while living in these harsh conditions. Anne's father, Otto, was the only one that survived. Upon his return to Amsterdam, Otto found his daughter's diary. He recognized the historical value of these personal documents and had them published. Anne Frank's Diary of a Young Girl has been read by millions of people throughout the world.